Hey, welcome back to Money Talk. I'm Polite Savage, and today I'm going to be talking about Bitcoin and why I think Bitcoin is going to have exponential growth in the future. I actually have a very interesting graph that we can go over today, so keep on watching and we'll go over it together. So the graph I found was actually on Twitter, and it was trending, and looking at the graph, I can see that there is this exponential growth phase on it, and it actually happens to be in three separate spikes. The spikes in the graph are far apart, so they're actually like a few years apart. But what you'll see is that right now, they're showing in this particular graph that the spike is coming, it's due, in this particular date range. So last was 17 and 14, so 14, 15, 16, 17, so it was about 4 years, and then it hit again, and it rallied for about a year. Then it went down again. And then we had 18, 19, 20, 21, so that's another 4 years, and then it's starting to rally again. So look at that trend and think to yourself, is that trend valuable to think about? Is that trend something to care about? And I'll say yes. The reason why I think that's the case is because there's a cross section that happens in this linear growth right here. The reason why there's this linear line is to show you where these spikes have converged. So the spike created this diagonal here, and we can see that the next crossover event is right here. And that crossover event is important because it will show you that 300,000 is actually possible. And the reason it's possible is because of our historical data. So this candlestick chart, you can see the little candlesticks going through, it has a really bright future for Bitcoin. Hey, it might be giving it too much credit, but I want to say that it's not. And for me in particular, I would actually tell you to buy Bitcoin if I had any specific opinion on it, is because I don't think it's too late. A lot of people are saying, the opportunity it has gone in order to buy Bitcoin. So if you buy Bitcoin down here, yeah, you're going to make a whole lot more money because it was only $1,000, but it's rallying again. So say you buy it here, it could 10x, it could go up 20 times. So if you put $1,000 in there and it does meet this particular expectation, you're going to get a huge return. At $2,000, say at 10x's, that's $20,000 or more. So give it a try. I'm not recommending this. Please don't take it that way. I'm not a financial expert, of course, but I'm just actually looking at this and thinking it's really valid because this is a predictive model. And what happens with predictive models is they take the historical data, they aggregate it, and then they run an algorithm on it. Or they run a specific model that is regression, or maybe it's something like that. And not to get too technical and weird, it's pretty accurate. From what I've seen in the past, the stock market actually, they use these models all the time in order to track exponential and linear growth. And I would say, even if you contribute gradually, so maybe put in a certain amount of money each week, you could do that, or each month, I think you're still going to make out on top. Additionally, Bitcoin has been counted out a lot, and this is why I think that there's something else going on. Since Tesla put in the $1.5 billion, I think other companies are going to see that, and they're going to start jumping on the bandwagon and using Bitcoin as an investment to safeguard their money and the value of their money, because the value of the dollar may go up or down, we don't know. But if it in fact does go down, Bitcoin is a good place to safeguard huge sums of money. So say now that Tesla started this particular wave, maybe another company will say to themselves, hey, I want to jump on the bandwagon. They throw $1 billion in. And then 2 more companies throw $1 billion. And then 4 more companies do it. And then it starts happening globally. And all these different companies start adding their money to Bitcoin because they think it's a smart investment to safeguard the value of their specific sum of money. So how does this relate to the dollar? It doesn't. It doesn't relate to the dollar. This is actually going to be a conversion from the dollar to Bitcoin. So if it replaces the dollar, which I don't know if it will or will not, who knows? I think it'll be a while off if it does replace the dollar. But you can exchange this Bitcoin for a dollar, and the exchange rate is determined by how much money is in Bitcoin. It's not really determined so much about the economy like we use to evaluate the price of the dollar. So I'm not going to get into that, but what I'll say is, because Bitcoin's value isn't really tied to the dollar, it's tied to how many people contribute to Bitcoin and the sentiment around it right now. That's why companies are going to safeguard their money there. It's because they're going to get off the centralized system. They're going to get off the governmental system, and they're going to move to a more centralized international system in order to harvest their money. The last topic I have about Bitcoin specifically is there's a lot of people that are selling classes, seminars, and different things about Bitcoin. And I've actually always just found a lot of stuff on YouTube, and they'll give you information and they'll specifically tell you like, hey, there's so much more to the story. And yeah, their classes might be really valuable, but I don't really know. So if you want to pay for the classes, I get it. But go ahead and just Google it. Look at multiple sources. Never take one source's word as the gospel, because you could look at 17 different charts on Bitcoin and they're not going to be the same. It's always going to be different. Like, for example, JP Morgan Chase is actually saying that the price target at the end of this year for Bitcoin is 160,000. But you'll look at a lot of these types of exponential growth paths or growth candlestick charts, and it'll show a much different story. So you can't really take one person or one company's word for it. Cross-reference a bunch of different articles and then find a middle ground, and then think of that as the destination of Bitcoin. And again, I'm going to probably mention this in every single Bitcoin video, is any money you put in here, you just have to be willing to lose all that money tomorrow, or willing to lose that money in an hour. Or so if you put 40,000 in here, you better expect both scenarios. Expect it to blow up and expect it to go down and crash completely, and you'll lose that $40,000 overnight, because it can happen. It's the same thing as stocks. People are getting really excited, and there's this thing called FOMO, or fear of missing out. And when they have FOMO, they're going to just like sell a bunch of different stuff and put it into Bitcoin. Like for me, I would never sell my Tesla stock and put it into Bitcoin. Hey, I might be regretting that in a year or two, and I might think to myself, I'm a complete idiot. I should have just sold everything and put it in Bitcoin. But the inverse could happen. I could say I should have never sold my Tesla stock and bought Bitcoin because I lost it. The same goes with other stock. Like I have NEO. I have what's that other stock? I have the synthetic meat company. Oh my gosh. It's fake meat anyway. I have stock in that company. I can't think of the name right now, but it's like on the same level as the Impossible Burger. It's a meat supplement, and I'm keeping that in there. I'm keeping my investments on the things that I think are going to be the future. So green energy, protein alternatives, electric vehicles, lithium, uranium. Uranium's big right now. I'm going to do a video on uranium because I think people are overlooking the uranium market. All right, I'm going to leave you with that. I really appreciate you watching my video. Share my video. My videos aren't absolutely perfect. I'm still kind of new, but please subscribe. I'm going to make more content moving forward, and you can expect analysis like this, as well as just videos where I talk about something random that relates to money. So thanks so much for watching again. Subscribe if you want. I love comments. Comments really help me. They tell the algorithm that my video is interesting. So anything you put in there helps. Even if you just put hello and like what's up. I appreciate it. or your favorite ice cream flavor. It doesn't matter. But okay, adios, farewell, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.